Now, in one area of South Africa, we've had some farmers that have been putting, I think it's cyanide or arsenic, cyanide perhaps, in his rhino's horns. In fact, there are a number of people that are doing that. I'm going to try and roll back. Don't know how they're going to react to it without the engine on. Yeah, they don't like it. With the engine on now, a bit more relaxed. So, as I was saying, I'm going to stay with them a little bit as they go. They might even head up towards Gowrie Dam. They're in the Mulwati, heading up parallel to Twin Dams in a northerly direction towards Twin Dam, or rather towards Gowrie Dam. Still a little distance away. Mind the lead a bit more. So some landowners are starting to booby trap the rhino's horns, and there have actually been some of these rhino that have been poached, and even more recently there has been one confirmed death by poisoning of somebody who has consumed rhino horn. I think that was in Taiwan. Texan. IM4, welcome back. I got 3 in Combi just north of Spaghetti Crossing.
Good, thank you. Yeah, I will make my way to the
Okay, it looks like they are coming through the Shkovanin, probably going to come out of Chelapan. Okay, yeah, just let me know when you're closer. I'm still in the Shkovanin with them. You'd think bulky animals like this would battle with gradients and things, but they're not, they're quite capable of climbing steep banks. Looks like he's spraying a little bit. So I'm thinking that is a cow with her older calf of about 4, maybe 4.5. Okay. Sharon in Indiana. Now, a lot has been written about sexual dimorphism in rhino, Sharon. Sharon's asking, are there any other features that distinguish male from female rhinos other than the obvious? Well, the males do have thicker necks, thicker heads, or rather thicker necks, heavier heads. Blunter horns. Females tend to have slightly more sharper horns because they don't use their horns that much. Just keep an eye on them. I want to keep an eye on them for Texan coming out. At the same time, I can have a look at some tracks here in the riverbed. Some elephant tracks. Oh, looks like they're heading towards Chelapan. Not yet. more of the thick vegetation at the back of Chelapan. Elephants have been here. Randy in Florida. Hi there. How's Rudy? Randy wants to know, you noticed wounds on a rhino recently, watching a video. Wants to know what sort of infections are likely in these wounds, considering all the flies that come about. Actually, no, Randy, it's the oxpeckers that can be more detrimental, because it's the oxpeckers that can keep pecking at the wounds, keep them open to encourage. Oh, let's give each other a fright. Generally, a lot of the wounds in rhino, I mean, I'm looking at this female. If we look just behind her right shoulder, she's got a pretty severe scar there. She just turns into the sun correctly. Middle one. But she's now going away from us. Looks like she got a horn in the side there once or something. Yeah, nature is resilient, and the animals are even more so, and they do manage to get through wounds pretty badly. Rhino roll in the mud, and a lot of times actually that mud, as much as it might harbor bacteria, the clay can actually help seal a wound, keep it from exposure to flies and oxpeckers. But generally superficial wounds heal pretty well. Yeah, pull in, take. There are animals, I mean, I know there's some zebra, I know, are susceptible to infections with very severe wounds, and it's likely to lead to septicemia. And I suppose that can happen with other large mammals. So we're going to leave Texan with the rhino and go find him something else. Hi there.
You want me to go pet him so that you can take my picture with him?
Yeah, right. Take a picture of them throwing you in the air, yeah. Okay, Tex, I'll leave you with them. I'll go find you something else.
Okay. What are you going to find for me?
I don't know. What do you want? Cheetah? Oh, okay. Cheetah, okay.
Enjoyed the dogs this morning, right?
The dogs?
Did you see the wild dogs?
No, one of your colleagues, the blonde lady.
Yeah?
Oh, I think she got the dogs, a pack of 9 wild dogs.
No, she didn't. Where we find the dogs that are not
Oh, really?
that was inside the...
No, she was with the leopard.
Yeah, she was with the
She saw
leopard,
the
not the
leopard.
dog.
Okay.
Okay, well, we'll see you a little later.
I'll take millions if you find them.
Okay, maybe I'll find you some zebra.
I love zebras. They're my favorite.
Okay. Yeah. Your radio Z might fall off. Okay, we'll leave wannabe TV stars. Right, where was I? Brandy. I think a lot of animals, well, if a wound is bad enough, are susceptible to infection and the consequences of a bad infection. I've seen a lioness horned by a buffalo that had a wound that was so bad it was deemed necessary to intervene. One of those words that we make up on safari when we mix two words together. Intervene. Veterinary services were called in. This was in East Africa. And when he darted her and started treating her, he could put his fist into this wound. Basically, it was a buffalo hunt, and she got tossed by a buffalo, and the horn must have got her on the inside of her thigh. It was an exceptionally bad wound. And despite the fact that it was sewn up, the fact that maybe she was given antibiotics helped a lot. And what also helped a lot was she had 3 sub-adult cubs that helped feed her, actually. Although she was with a pride, she would somehow spend most of her time away from the main pride, occasionally coming back to the pride when they had a buffalo kill or something. But on a number of occasions we saw these youngsters bring down something and help feed her. But she healed well. I've had other animals that have had severe wounds from snares, from poachers' snares, that once again we've had them darted and treated, and those animals have survived pretty well. But there again, that is where humans have been involved, and it's been necessary to bring in a vet, cut the wires off and sew them up. On the other hand, I've seen animals that have had natural injuries heal too. I mean, lion harbor incredible amounts of bacteria under their claws, in the hollows in their claws, from feeding, from everything that they do, that if one is scratched by a lion, the chances of that becoming septic and causing severe problems is very high. Yet zebra, I've seen, sorry. Right, I'm probably going to go to treehouse now. Sounds like they had wild dog on buffalo. Nyala Road South, by the way. After lion hunting and missing, animals often have very, very severe scratches from those claws in their rumps, and I've found many zebra over time with such bad scarring. One wonders how they've managed when those scars were real, or rather still raw. I think there's some injuries that animals just can't deal with, and I think things like broken legs, broken jaws. We had a lion with broken jaws after being kicked by either zebra or giraffe. Obviously that kind of injury is not going to heal, and that's going to be a sad death for that animal. It largely depends. I mean, as far as what else can occur in those kind of scratches or injuries, in terms of what diseases, what infections they can get, I don't really know my veterinary side of things very well, other than knowing that the reality of septicemia is a harsh one, and that it is fatal if sepsis does set in. Anyway, enough on sad notes. Let's see what we can find further. Yeah. Very strong smell of something dead that we just came past. Turn the camera, but I'm too much in the middle. Do they have the longest what? Head. Ah. And that's from? Sunfish. What's that sunfish doing in the bush? Interesting fish to choose a name. Hello, sunfish. One of the few things that I've wanted to see when diving and haven't yet. Wait, time to show the ladies a flower. Or 2 or 3 or 100. We're going to come back to Nyala Road North, I think. First we're going to start here in the dip. Hello, birdies. Babblers. Gardenia on my right's got a few flowers on, but nothing. I mean, I was here a couple of days ago, didn't see a flower, and now all of a sudden, or sunfish, all of a sardine, there's gardenias in bloom. A blooming gardenia. Maua. Crunch, crunch. Ow, my face. It whipped me in the face. Okay, I'm going to try and turn for you, Sebastian. Get a better view of it. I mean, some of these flowers, obviously I haven't noticed it too well, but some of these flowers are a few days old already. Not in full bloom, but there are quite a few flowers on it. Looks better from a distance. Sunfish wanted to know about a rhino's face, got the longest, or head, the longest head. Yeah, very much, but the white rhino, not the black rhino. Kind of an adaptation of this large-bodied animal. Instead of growing a long neck with a small head, it's just grown a much longer head to be able to reach its food, which is grass. And consequently, the dorsal spines on this on the lumbar vertebrae above the shoulders are exceptionally long to attach all that muscle that is needed to carry that head, and that is why rhino have such a prominent hump above the shoulders, a hump that we call the nuchal muscle, N-U-C-H-A-L, or the nuchal hump. Can't really find a decent shot of any of these gardenia flowers other than maybe there's one up there. You can see the sort of spiral shape to it. A lot of these flowers are old. You know, the fresh flowers are beautiful white, and then they start turning yellow, and then eventually they go brown. Okay, let's go. Oh, you found one. That one's already a bit flat, that flower. I wanted to get one with open, with all the propeller type shapes on it. But maybe it's the heat that's making them wilt like this. So surprising to have it flowering, using only the moisture and the nutrients that it's saved up from last summer. It's a sad looking flower. Oh well, we'll keep an eye on all the gardenias. Sorry, you're going to have to repeat that. I didn't quite get that. With no calf around, would a female be inclined to charge? Is that it? No, Vivian, I don't quite understand what you're asking. Vivian's asking, with no calf around, would the female be more inclined to charge with the male lying? I'm sorry, Vivian, I don't quite understand that, because in any given situation, a female is more likely to charge if it's got a calf, regardless of whether there's a bull around or not. And it doesn't really have much to do with the bull lying down or standing up, or having a calf or not having a calf. Gosh, I don't know how to answer this question, Vivian. It's a little obscure in that it's... Once again, it's sort of trying to predict what an animal is going to do, and one can't do